Check this out. That's a QR code that doesn't work until you pay for it. And I built this entire thing today. Next.js, Firebase, Stripe, live on Vercel using Claude Code. Almost zero manual coding. And honestly, this idea came from frustration. Go on Google right now and search for QR code generator. Every single tool that lets you create a dynamic QR code, one that you can actually edit or track, is behind the paywall. Monthly subscriptions, $10, $20, $30 a month just for a QR code. That's insane. So yeah, there's irony in the fact that I'm also charging for this, but this is a one-time $5, not a subscription that bleeds you every month. Pay once, QR works forever. In this video, I'll show you the entire process from an empty folder to a deployed product with real payments. Let's go. Alright, first things first. Before I touch anything else, I want to make sure the base app runs clean. So I'm going to write npx create next app at latest, and I'm going to give it a dot for the current folder. Now we just hit enter for everything. We will just leave the defaults on. Now once this has finished loading, I'm going to run npm run dev, and let's go ahead and check out our project. I'm going to copy this URL, go to Chrome, and paste it in. Okay, it looks like it's working fine. This is the default Next.js page. Everything works. This is our starting point. Now let me show you what we're actually building before I hand it over to Claude. Okay, so let me walk you through exactly what this app does, because the business model here is actually really clean. The user lands on the website, signs in with Google, one click, no forms. They see a dashboard with all their QR codes. They hit create new QR, paste in their destination URL, whatever they want the QR to point to. They give it a label and submit. The app saves that to Firestore and generates a QR code. But here's the thing, that QR code doesn't point directly to their URL. It points to our app, something like this. When someone scans it and hits that route, we check Firestore. Has this QR been paid for? If yes, we instantly redirect to the destination URL, completely seamless. If no, we show a simple page saying that this QR isn't active yet with a button to pay. The owner pays $5 one time. Stripe then sends us a webhook. We set is paid to true in Firestore, and from that point on, the QR just works forever. Anyone with a physical business, restaurant, photographer, freelancer, event organizer, this is an easy sell. Alright, let's go ahead and build it. Now here's where it gets fun. Instead of building this component by component myself, I'm going to give Claude Code one detailed prompt and let it scaffold the entire application. The key to a good Claude Code prompt is being specific. Exact stack, exact features, exact field names. The more precise you are, the less back and forward you need. I'm going to go to my page.tsx. I'm going to click the Claude Code icon, and I'm going to give it the prompt that I have already written. I'm going to read it out for you. I want to build a paid QR code SaaS with Next.js 16, TypeScript, Tailwind, Firebase, Stripe, and QR code.react. The core idea is the users create a QR code that points to our app dynamic route. The QR code only redirects to the real destination URL after a one-time payment of $5. If unpaid, scanning the QR shows an activate this QR paywall page. Next, we have the features. Authentication with Firebase Auth. We have the dashboard. We have the QR scan route, the payments, the post-payment behavior, and then we have the implementation constraints. This is everything that I've written so far. I'm going to give it a go and see what it builds for us. And now we wait. This is honestly one of my favorite parts, watching it just build things. Okay, while Claude is doing its thing, let me show you the Firebase side. because this is where most people get stuck. We're going to go to our browser and go to console.firebase.google.com. Over here, I'm going to hit create a new Firebase project, and I'm going to call it QR-SaaS. I'm going to hit continue. Let's disable Gemini in Firebase, we don't need it. Let's also disable the Google Analytics and hit create project. Once the new project is created, we are going to hit continue. And now there's two things that we need to enable. First, authentication. We can go ahead and go to security authentication and hit get started. Here we want Google as our provider, and I'm going to hit enable. Next, for the support email, you have to select an email and hit save. One thing that I forgot is to set an actual name. This is what the public will see when they try to log in. So I'm going to write QR project. Now keep in mind, this is what your SaaS name should be. Hit save. Second, we need Firestore, a place to store our data. So let's go to database and storage, hit Firestore, and then create database. For now, we will leave standard edition selected, hit next, and let's go ahead and start in test mode. Hit create. Now we need two sets of credentials. The first is for the client side, the Firebase config object. We are going to go to project overview, hit the add app button, and we're going to select web. Let's give it a name, Next.js app, and hit register app. Then it will give you back the Firebase config. Now, we told Claude to create an env.local.example file where we have these fields over here. I'm just going to copy and paste them. We can scroll down and hit continue to console. The second set of credentials that we need is for the server side, the admin SDK. We're going to go to settings, service accounts, and we're going to hit generate new private key. Generate key, and this key has been downloaded for you. We can open this in VS Code, and then as you can see, for the Firebase admin SDK, we need Firebase project ID, client email, and our private key. So for the project ID, I'm going to copy it here, then the client email, and for the private key, make sure you copy everything in between the quotes, because this is a very long key. I'm going to hit Shift End, go back one with the left arrow, copy, and paste. Now, once we see that Claude Code has finished setting up the code for us, let's go ahead and test out if we can authenticate. Let's see what Claude Code has done. I'm getting an error, and I have just noticed that we don't have an actual .env.local file. We have written all of our data in .env.local.example, so this is not good. I'm going to copy this file, paste it, and then rename it to only be named .env.local. Now, let's hit refresh again and see if this works. Once I have restarted my development server, now it works. Let's go ahead and hit sign in with Google and see if we can sign in. Select our Google account, scroll down, hit continue, and it looks like the authentication works correctly. Let's also go ahead and see if we can create our first QR code. I'm going to name it flashstack and give it the destination URL of our flashstack YouTube channel and hit create QR code. Now it has given us a QR code, and instead of scanning this with a mobile phone, I'm just going to hit Open Scan page. It tells us that flashstack hasn't been activated yet. Pay a one-time $5 fee to make this QR code redirect to its destination. Let's go ahead and check our Firestore for what data has actually populated. As you can see, we have a QR codes, and then we have a document, and inside it we have the destination URL. We also have isPaid set to false. We have the label and the user ID. If we go to authentication, you're going to see that this user ending in M63 and starting with 1NU. If we go to authentication, we are going to see that this is the same user ID as the one that we have. Now, if we were to click activate this QR for $5, we are most likely going to get an error, right? This is because we haven't already set up Stripe. So let's go ahead and do that next. Once you're on the Stripe landing page, let's go ahead and sign in. I'm just going to sign in with Google. Stripe will ask you for your business details during onboarding. And yes, you do need to fill this in order to accept live payments. You can skip it. Now, a question I get a lot. Do you need a registered company? The answer depends on your country. In a lot of places, including Romania, where I'm from, you can sign up as an individual, not a business. You just declare the income yourself. So, if you're a solo developer without a company, don't let that stop you. Fill in your personal details, select individual where it asks for business type, and you're good to go. Obviously, check the tax rules in your own country. I'm a developer, not an accountant, but the short version is you don't need a registered business to start. Once you have finished the onboarding process, we can go ahead and create our product. I'm going to go to search for product catalog, and go into it. We're going to go create a new product, name it something like QR code activation. I'm going to select US dollar for this and set it to $5 and make sure you hit one off. We don't need a recurring price. If you want, you can add a description, an image, something like that. But let's go ahead and hit add product. Next, if you go inside your product, you're going to find a price ID. It is located on the right side of the price you have created, and you can click copy price ID. Next, we are going to go in our env.local, and I can see that Claude Code didn't actually create an env variable for this, so I'm going to create it myself. Stripe product ID, and I'm going to paste it in. Now, while we're here, I'm going to ask Claude Code why it hasn't added a Stripe product ID. Okay, so the question I have written is, why haven't you added a Stripe product ID in the .env.local.example? I have created a product inside Stripe. Is the logic of the code working with the Stripe product ID that I have added in .env? Obviously, it's not going to work. And this is why we are telling it to go ahead and refactor the code so that we can use this Stripe product ID. Okay, after Claude Code finished its thing, it has actually told us that it wasn't using a price ID, it was using a hard-coded value. Next, it told us that we have written the wrong variable name. I wrote Stripe product key instead of Stripe price ID. And next, the last thing that he told us was that, remember in the beginning, we have written some of our variables here in the local.example. That's not good. I was going to delete those values before pushing to Git, but it has done it for us. The next thing we need from Stripe is our secret key. We can find this if we go and search for developers API keys. And down here we have the publishable key and the secret key. Now if we go to our code, you can see we have Stripe secret key. which is this one right here. I'm going to click to copy it and paste it right here. Next, we need the Stripe webhook secret, but the webhooks are actually sending data only on live mode. For local testing, we can go ahead and create a new tab and run Stripe listen --forward--to localhost 3000/API/webhook, which is what we have created here. Now, as you can see, it says ready, you are using Stripe API version. If this gets an error for you, you are going to need to follow the steps to install the Stripe CLI. Now, for installing Stripe CLI, you can just Google it and follow the steps in the documentation. It is not difficult at all. All you need to do is run npm i-g at stripe/CLI, which I'm not going to do because I already have it installed. Next, you have to log in with Stripe in your CLI, which you can do by writing Stripe login. You can follow this link. Once you are here, it's going to give us a code. Make sure this code is the same as the one that Stripe CLI has given you. If it does, click Allow Access, and then the access is granted. That's pretty much it for the Stripe CLI. It's very simple. So then we are going to run the command again, Stripe listen forward to localhost 3000 API webhook. As you can see, it's working correctly. The next step you need to do is actually restart your development server. So I'm going to hit npm run dev again. Let's go ahead and refresh our page, and let's see if this works. Activate this QR code. As you can see, we are redirected to the checkout of Stripe. We see flashstack sandbox. We see the product name. We see the amount, $5. And the next steps you can do is put any email here. So I'm going to put flashstack.youtube@gmail.com. For the card number, I'm going to use the test card that Stripe offers. So it's going to be 4242, just 4242 everywhere. Then you need to pass in a valid date, so a date that is in the future from now. I'm going to select 12/20/30, for example. Any CVC, I'm going to put 123, and any name, I'm going to use a name test. Once we hit pay, we should see that the webhook is running and that our paywall becomes activated. Now, if we go back in VS Code, we can see something is going on here. Charge succeeded, payment intent succeeded, we have some posts, and let's see if this actually worked. Let's go to our Firestore again, and we can see that its paid is still false, so something has gone wrong. I'm going to ask Claude Code one more time what's happening, and let's see what he responds. The first thing I'm going to do is copy this. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to ask, I have completed the payment in test mode, but the isPaid variable in Firestore is still false. Why? And before sending it, I realized why. It was my mistake. So as you can see, when we have run Stripe listen, it has given us our webhook secret, which is right here. We should have copied this, put it in our .env.local, and then restarted our application. Now let's try this one more time, and hopefully this time it works. Activate this QR code. I'm going to fill in the same details. Hit pay. And as you can see, we have successfully been redirected to our YouTube channel. Now let's go ahead to localhost 3000. As you can see, our QR code is currently active. If we hit Open Scan Page, which is what will happen if somebody scans the QR code, you can see we are redirected automatically to the destination URL. Okay, the functionality is there. Now let me clean up the UI a bit, because first impressions matter, especially on the scan landing page and the dashboard. I'm going to go to Claude Code and tell it to create a landing page that's much better designed. I'm going to just type, please create a beautiful landing page that has the focus of conversion, and redesign the whole app to match it. White background, dark text, one accent color. Let's go ahead and see what it gives us. Now here are the results that Claude Code has generated. As you can see, we have a beautiful landing page, a few info on how everything works. We have a get started call to action, and we have a sign in with Google. I'm going to sign in again. And as you can see now, once we have signed in, we can hit go to dashboard, we see our QR code, and we can go ahead and create another one if we want to. Obviously, this is just an MVP. You can go ahead and maybe create a more beautiful landing page with more info, but for demonstration purposes, I think this works just fine. Now, before we deploy, we need two pages: terms and conditions and the privacy policy. You need this the moment you're taking payments. I'll use Claude to generate them. I'll give the product name, what it does, my business details, and ask for both pages. Now keep in mind, I'm not a lawyer, not legal advice, but you need something there before you go live. So I'm just going to give this prompt again to create the legal pages, terms and privacy, and also create a footer because we don't actually have one, with a logo and the navigation. Now as you can see, the task is completed. We now have a footer, we have a terms page, and a privacy page. As you can see, it left some placeholders for us to fill in, but for now this is looking good. Another thing I would like to add is to create a button that allows us to download the QR code. So I'm going to go back to Claude Code and tell it to create a button that allows us, or allows the user, to download the QR code from the dashboard. Let's go ahead and test it out. We can see the new download QR button. Once clicking it, it downloads us a new image with the name that we have given the label. And upon opening it, we have the QR code. I have gone ahead and tested it on my phone, and it actually works. Alright, now that we have everything working, let's go ahead and ship it. The first thing we are going to need to do is go to GitHub, create a new repository. I'm going to call it QR Code SaaS. I'm going to make it public so you can download the code. I'm going to create a repository. So the first step we need to do is git init. I'm going to end the dev server. I'm going to write git init. As you can see, it is successfully initialized. Next, I'm going to use git remote add origin. And then I'm going to hit git push -u origin, and I'm going to use master. Now, before doing that, I'm going to write git add asterisk, git commit, all message first init, and git push. Now, if we go back and refresh, our code should be live. Perfect. The next thing we need to do is to deploy it to Vercel. Once we are on the Vercel homepage, I'm going to hit login. I'm going to use GitHub. I'm going to authorize. And of course, we don't have a Vercel account yet, so let's just sign up instead using GitHub. I'm going to hit I'm working on personal projects. For the team name, I'm going to use flashstack team. And under import git repository, I'm going to select continue with GitHub, click install, select all repositories, hit install, verify via email. It's going to send me an email. I'm going to get the code, hit verify. Now, once we are connected, we can see our repository right here. We can hit import. I'm going to go under environment variables. And the nice thing you can do is go to your .env.local, select everything, copy it, and then go to the first field, just paste, and everyone will be pasted. Next, we just have to click deploy. While the deployment is loading, I'm going to go in our .env again and check what we need to change. So for Firebase, everything is the same. For Stripe, we are going to need a new secret key, a new webhook secret, and a new price ID. So let's go to Stripe. Over here, you can see that we are in testing mode. Let's go ahead and switch to live account. Now, this is the part that I told you about. It's going to ask about your business. So go ahead and fill in the details, and let's get back when you're done. Now, once you have submitted your business details, it's going to tell you that you are now in your live account. Let's hit choose what to copy, select products, hit continue. Let's go to our product catalog and maybe refresh. As you can see, our QR code activation has been copied successfully. I'm just going to check that it has the same price ID, so I'm going to copy the price ID, go back to our price ID, duplicate this, and hit it, and it's a different one. So for now, let's go to Vercel. Our project has been deployed. I'm going to hit continue to dashboard. This is our URL for now. I'm going to open it in a new tab. Let's go to environment variables and hit add environment variable, Stripe price ID, and I'm going to give it the new value. So I'm copying again, copy price ID, give it a value, save. It tells us that there's one already existing, so let's go ahead and delete one. Discard changes. Keep securing my account for now. I'm going to edit it. Paste the new value, hit save. Now we need to redeploy for the new variables to work, but we still have something to do first, which is getting our secret key from Stripe. So let's go back to Stripe. Let's search for secret key, developer, API keys, reveal live key, reveal. It's gonna send us a verification. So after verifying, get your secret key. Make sure it says Stripe secret key. Hit edit, paste in the new secret key, and hit save. Next, for the webhook, I'm going to search for webhooks. Let's hit add a destination. And here is why we need our URL. I'm just going to copy it. You are going to search for checkout.session.completed. Select it, hit continue. Webhook endpoint, continue. Our URL is going to be our live URL from Vercel / as you can remember, API/webhook. I'm going to give it a description of API endpoint and hit create destination. Now that the webhook is created, we can copy the secret from here, go back to Vercel, Stripe webhook secret, edit, paste the new one and save. The last thing we need to change is our public URL. So let's go ahead and search for it, public app URL. Here it is. So just again, copy it from the URL, edit, paste it, save. And once you have done this, you can finally hit redeploy. hit redeploy again. We can go to view deployments. One last thing we need in order to test that it works on live without paying any money is to make sure to tell Claude to allow us to apply discount codes in the Stripe checkout. So please allow us to use discount codes in the Stripe checkout. As you can see, this is pretty simple. We just have a new line with allow promotion codes through. Let's go ahead and allow promotion codes, commit and push. And the beauty of Vercel is once this gets pushed, as you can see, it automatically rebuilds your live product. So back in our dashboard, let's go ahead and close the workbench, go to discount codes, coupons, right? Create a new coupon, name it 100 off and copy this. Percentage of 100%, apply to a specific product. The QR code activation, duration, I'm just going to set it for forever. And for codes, use customer-facing coupon codes. Make sure you hit this. This is the code we are going to use. So this up here is just the name. This is the actual code. It can be the same. And let's hit create coupon. Now let's go to our QR code app. Hit refresh, make sure we are on the latest version. And let's go ahead and check if this works. Sign in with Google is free. And as we can see, there's an error. What might be the error? I think I can see it in the console. Yes, sign in failed, Firebase error. Unauthorized domain. So one last thing we need to do is copy the domain, go to Firebase, go to authentication, go to settings, go to authorized domains, hit add domain. And now if we refresh, hit sign in again, we can finally sign in. And it looks like we have a new error, could not load your QR codes. I'm going to prompt Claude to fix this and see what's going wrong. It looks like the error was just some version mismatch in our package.json. And right now, if we refresh the page, it should work correctly. As you can see, let's go ahead and create a new QR code. I'm going to give it the same URL, but a different label, flashstack live. Let's create the QR code. As you can see, this is not activated yet. So let's open the scan page. Ooh, we need to pay for this. Okay, activate this QR code. And let's see if we remember. I think it was 100 off. Apply. Yes, that's correct. Now we just need the email and hit complete order. So we just got redirected. If we go back to our app, I want to see in the dashboard, yes, this is active. So what this means is that our webhook is working correctly on live too. If we go to the Firestore database, we can see that both of these codes have the is paid true. And guys, that's it. A fully working paid QR code SaaS. Auth, payments, webhooks, deployed on Vercel, built in one day with Claude Code. If you want to turn this into a real product, the next steps would be tighten the Firestore security rules, add a custom domain, maybe add QR code customization as an upsell. But as an MVP, this works, this is live, and you could start selling it today. If this was useful, please subscribe. I'm building a new micro-SaaS every week on this channel, all with Claude Code and this exact stack. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.